everyone. This is Inside the TMC Family. I'm Faith Howard Mooney, VP of Member Engagement at TMC. And we are so lucky today to have join us somebody who has been really integrated within the TMC family and so helpful to a lot of people within our network. With us today is Anita Padilla Fitzgerald. She is the CEO of Megastar Financial. Thanks so much for doing this with us.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah. So we've got just a couple of quick questions so that people have a chance to get to know you a little bit better. And we're going to start out way early in your, I won't even say career. Share with us what your first job ever was.
Ooh, my first job, I was 18 years old and I was the receptionist at a savings and loan.
So you started out kind of in financial services right from the get-go.
I did.
Wow, unusual in our industry. We've had a lot of fryers and other things at some of those places. So good for you to start out at that level of a job just from the very beginning. Share with us from there kind of how you got into like the mortgage industry and how long you've been in.
Well, as I said, my first job was a receptionist, and I was happy to get a job in a building with air conditioning, and that was fun. And I got in the mortgage department because of the parties. So I met some people that worked in the mortgage area, and they were back in the day when the MI companies had these big elaborate parties. So to go to the parties, you needed to be in the mortgage department. So they had an opening and I applied to be the receptionist in the mortgage department. And I had the opportunity to learn to process loans and close loans and type loan notes, mortgage notes and deeds in the typewriter, and calculate APR by hand, and use the Fannie Mae Gold Book to calculate mortgage payments. So I also got to work in servicing and accounting, and it gave me a very well-rounded idea of mortgage lending. And at the time, as an 18-year-old, I worked there for 3 or 4 years. I guess I didn't really put everything together with regard to what I was learning. But as my career has grown, running Megastar now as a CEO and being able to look back on what I was doing, all of those things come together. So I feel very fortunate to have had that opportunity. From there, I went on to process loans, and then I went on to eventually be an operations manager. I worked for Cherry Creek Mortgage for 10, 12 years as their VP of operations, and really one of their very first employees, and helping them organize their departments. And as you know, Cherry Creek is very successful. I went on from there to be CEO of a company called First City Financial, and we eventually sold that company to Royal Bank of Canada company called Prism Mortgage. And then from there, they actually let me go because they wanted their own management team, and I started Megastar in 1999. So I had a really good base for understanding mortgage operations, and have used that knowledge to also start Take 3 Technologies and build the Rule Tool and build Loan Maps, which is a POS plus an LOS plus a CRM. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a lot of people. I think people are focusing now more than ever on kind of giving their new employees that broad experience. But from the day and age when we started, it's great that you had that chance, because I think that was a little bit maybe unusual. So going back to that point in time, is there something that you wish now, that something that's so clear now to you that you've been in this business for a while and had so much success, that you wish you would have known way back in the beginning?
I think for me, it was probably what I didn't know. And someone said to me once, who was a CEO of a non-mortgage company at Excel, and what she said to me was, you didn't know any better, you weren't taught, and you were raised in a family of folks that were more blue collar, not business owners. You didn't go to college, and you weren't told why you would fail. So you just went for it. And I just worked hard every day, and my results has been, even amazing to me. And that goes along with being blessed and being in the right place at the wrong time. I think a lot of people work very hard. So, my path has been, it's been, for me, in my personal view, has been amazing. So I think I'm happy that I wasn't told why I would fail, although, people will tell you along the road that you're going to fail, but you believe in yourself. And I think a lot of people like myself, when we're told we're going to fail, then it makes it that more advantageous for us to succeed. And it's like, I'm going to succeed. So, but I really have no regrets. I guess the one thing that maybe I could have done better was not move so fast and stop and think and analyze before I jump. And that's been a big lesson for me.
Yeah. Part of your entrepreneurial spirit, though, as well, is to make those changes and not be afraid to do something like that. You should be very proud of everything that you have accomplished.
Thank you.
If you weren't in mortgage lending, what would you do?
Gosh, if I wasn't in mortgage lending, well, I'm doing it. I'm building technology. I love it. It's so much fun. It's like art, it's solving for problems, it's creating things, and your art is watching it come out on your user interface and solving for problems. That's what I do. And then I've always been, athletic. I love to golf, I love to hike, and I love to ski and those type of things. So mortgage banking is in my blood. I don't know. I'm doing what I love doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's absolutely fantastic when it works out that way.
Mhm.
We were talking a little bit before that you're in Utah today, in the beautiful Park City. And it made me think about my experience in having been there for Sundance and all the neat, creative movie related things that go on there. What Share with me, kicker question, what your favorite movie is and why?
My favorite movie and why? I'd say my all-time favorite movie was probably An Officer and a Gentleman. Such a girl answer.
I love that one though too.
And why? It's a story about life, and his life and her life, and how these people come together and find love. And it's a happy story. Well, at the same time, it's telling another story of two other people who don't make it. And I enjoyed learning about the characters and everything not always being perfect, and watching how people grow in our world. So that's why.
I love that one too. It's one of
Yeah,
my favorites as well.
yeah.
Appreciate you doing this for us. Super, super quick, super easy. And always, we are grateful to have you within our TMC family. You've done so many things to help others within our network. And know that we talk about that and think about that often, and are glad to have you as part of the network.
Well, thank you. I'm very happy to be part of the network too. A lot of great folks at TMC who have been very supportive and have given me, great advice. And I love being part of the family.
Good, thanks. Thanks for doing this for us today.
Sure thing.